Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have for you kind of a mixture of things. This mid-century modern box of proofs I got back from PCGS, and with a little mini surprise in the middle. I'm going to start off with dropping a coin because that's how I roll, and we're just going to roll with it because I'm not a professional. And what I want to show you guys on this coin here is just kind of how nice, you may not know this, just how nice a Roosevelt dime can look. But a nice Roosevelt dime is a real pleasing coin, actually, even though in general, you know, Roosevelt dimes are not considered the more attractive coins. This is what an MS-67 looks like. We'll give it a close-up. So when you see those little lines that are kind of on his neck at this angle, those are not contact marks. They're not even breaks in the luster. That has to do with the way that the coin toned over. I want you to just notice kind of how the coin looks, the eye appeal overall. When you turn it, it's just going to pop, and there's going to be no contact marks and just a ton of luster. Now these guys, they do sometimes mark them with what they call a full torch, but you need those bands on the back to be really well struck up. That bottom band is not struck up well enough. And really cool coin in my book. It's a maybe $75 coin. We'll see what happens on this coin. I think we got the true view on there, and you can see really how attractive the coin is. We're going to put our track shoes on a little bit here because I'm going to show you a number of kind of sets of coins. We had pairs of stuff we sent in. Sometimes I talk about cherry picking some proof sets, and 1970 is a year where a lot of the coins come without any type of Cameo appearance to them. And so we got a group of these 1970 proof Kennedys that were really quite nice. They had really clean fields to them and a strong Cameo effect. And so we sent all these guys in. I got 4 of them, and to be honest with you, I thought they were all pretty comparable. I mean, overall, well, I'm going to lead the jury here a little bit because this was my favorite, the one we're looking at now. But for those of you who follow movies, you can always tell when there's something that's really predictive going on. Clearly that means that the one I like the most is the one that will not have the highest grade. And the trick on these sometimes, of course, the grading proofs is always difficult. You want to make sure there's no, proofs can get really faint, fine contact marks. And so you got to kind of get used to looking at the proper angles and the proper lighting to say, okay, there's nothing going on there that's distracting. Now 3 of these coins, the ones that I liked but I didn't like as much as the other, all have this little bit of like white flecks in the black background. That is why I liked this coin the best, because this doesn't have that effect really going on to the same extent. It still has some, but you don't have quite as much of that going on. Now this one they called a Proof 68 Deep Cameo. It's really funny. I can't even get my own coin straight. So when we complain about PCGS and NGC and the coins that they have and how long they look at them for, let me look again at these guys here. All right, once again, worst show ever, but let me show you the big grade reveal on these. All right, so we had 4 coins all come back Proof 68. 3 came back Deep Cameo, and 1 came back just a Cameo. So let's start from the top, please, and take a look at the difference between the Cameo and the Deep Cameo. That's the only thing here. I'm not upset about. I thought they were all nice coins. Getting 68s on these is really nice. These coins probably are whatever, $50 to $60 type coins. We'll take a look and see what the market will bear on these guys. But overall, this Cameo, my biggest complaint on that was that it didn't get the deep cam, because I thought all 4 coins were really comparable. I'll get back to my main point about having these white, kind of like white flecks in the background. And depending on the angle and the lighting, This one actually, this deep Cameo doesn't really have it much. My Cameo coin, you see kind of the white popping up there in the background, and then this guy didn't have it quite as much. And I think what I did is I just got all the coins mixed up because I've been looking at too many coins. This one also has a little bit more of that white background as you turn it in the light. So, but all in all, the main point here is, guys, you can cherry pick those a little bit. You can get proof sets. You can get entire proof sets for less than that coin is worth. Of course, you do have to send them in and get them graded, and then you do have to hope they come back the grade that you're hoping for. So we tried on a few of these dimes also, just for the heck of it. 10 cent silver. Also coins from the 70s, that 1970 sets. They don't come Cameo and proof Cameo all the time. A lot of them come with just that glossy finish. I really liked this one because I really liked the overall appearance of Roosevelt there. You know, it's just kind of a really interesting look to this coin. 69 Cameo, which is a good grade on this coin. You know, it's probably still not quite worth getting it certified. You know, but like I've said before, we do some of these things just for the educational purpose, and we appreciate you guys liking videos and commenting because it helps the channel, and so we can afford to do a couple things like this and send in some coins that traditionally we might not send in and make some comparisons. So here we go again. We got to 69 Cameo, and I got a third one, which came back as 68 Cameo. Now, the thing that we really want for these to kind of get to the money is the deep Cameo. And, you know, you can make the argument that it was a mistake to send these dimes in with these halves, because these halves are just stunning on the Cameo effect, on the depth of it. And the dimes are really nice cameos, but, you know, a part of it is that they just aren't as deep looking as those Kennedy halves. Also, all of these have just a touch of toning to them. You know, just that little bit of a white haze that you wonder if that wasn't taken off, how much more striking the coin would look as far as the Cameo effect goes. So those guys we did okay on. 69 Cameos is nothing to sneeze at. They were quality coins. Next up, we had a bunch of 1953 proof sets that I broke up, but before we get there, I'm going to do like a halftime show with one of my favorite tokens from the 1830s, an anti-slavery token. They're listed with other hard times tokens from the 1830s, and this token is really just one of my favorites. It's just very compelling. Am I Not a Woman? And Sister, 1838, and you have a slave in bondage, and it's just a very graphic token, and you can imagine, you know, what it meant to spend one of these for people if they would take them in exchange. So a pretty powerful piece of U.S. history, and you know, these ones have the backward N on them, United States of America, Liberty, 1838, with the wreath made to look, you know, just like a U.S. cent, more or less, a little bit different, but that's the same concept. And PCGS called this an XF40, and it's got its reference from the book that it's in, number 81. I'm not specific to the 81 on whether or not that's a better type, but in general, this is probably a $300 to $400 token. And they also have one that says, "Am I not a man and husband?" Or "Man and brother." So there's a few different types of these, and just really neat pieces of American history. Very, very educational and compelling, I guess is what I would say. Next up, let's get to this 53 proof set that I sent a couple coins in on and see how we did. You know, on your 53 proof sets and 54, actually I did 53 and 54 proof sets, you really need coins to come back, generally high grade, like 6s, 7s, 8s, to really start to see them pop in value. This coin has just a touch of color to the right there, but overall that's a nice, what would we call that, bronzy red. Just a nice red coin overall. You don't have the haze, you don't have those lines that you kind of run into sometimes, you know, those little streaks and slide marks. Proof 66 red. I think the PCGS price guide had this at about 75 bucks. So that's a nice coin for the set. Sometimes, you know, if you want, you can try to put sets together on these coins and buy the coins individually. It's kind of the way to go because it's hard to find an actual match set that's original. You just don't see it very frequently. And this 54 cent also very similar with the high-end bronze look. Got a little bit of some color here again on the right side for this coin, but overall it's got a real nice finish to it. When you get these earlier proof sets, you know, if you can get cameos on these, you can see it's pretty scarce to get cameos on these coins from the 70s, early 70s I should be exact, late 60s. If you can get cameos on the coins from the 50s, you can really get some higher dollars for them. So keep an eye out for coins that have a cameo appearance. You know, this does not have a cameo look to it, but it has what I would maybe call the beginnings of a cameo look. There's just a touch of contrast, and it's really hard to get a cameo on those pennies from the 50s. That coin, similar to the other one, got a 66. That's probably about a $50 coin or so. Apparently, I switched over to the dimes. Let's stay in order, shall we? Are we going to go by Doyle? Hoyle? What's that saying? You can tell the gambler in the room, right? We're going to go according to Hoyle. All right, so this 1950s, 1953, Jefferson nickel proof. A little bit of a rotated die there. Yeah, this is straight up, and that's just twisted about 5%, 5 degrees. They call this a proof 67. Nice coin, probably about a $60 coin or so on that guy. And then I do have the 54, so I had a 53 set and a 54 set. I think I sent most of the coins in. Once again, really hoping to get something with the cameo to deep cameo. This, of course, is not a deep cameo, but you can start to see just a touch of contrast to, you know, that black and white effect, but it was not enough to get a higher grade on this coin. A 67, once again, a nice coin. The 54s are not as scarce as the 53s are. You know, this coin's probably half the value of the 53. Now we're going to get into the dimes because we do have a few more coins to go here. Got some dimes and some quarters to look at. So once again, talking about what you want to do with these coins when you get them, if you want to do something to them. I chose to not dip these coins. I just kept this original. So it's got mottled toning to it, a little bit of haze. A lot of people probably would have had this coin either conserved or done it themselves. And I can understand that. Came back at proof 66. You know, not an expensive coin, another $30 to $40 type coin in that grade. Maybe if that coin is conserved or restored, whatever you want to say, maybe it's got a little bit nicer eye appeal to the average man. Maybe it comes back a point higher. But all in all, a nice looking coin. I did the same thing. For whatever reason, these the dimes ended up getting toned on both of these. It's interesting to see, you know, because the pennies were nice. So, you know, the real difficulty is on these silver coins. If someone wants to conserve them, they probably can do a decent job to get off that toning. But if you get a lot of that type of toning on the pennies, the Lincoln cents, you're just in trouble. You can't get it off, and lots of times it'll get ugly over time and take away the color. This one also came back at proof 66. Similarly, it's probably a $30 to $40 type coin. Pretty nice coin. And for those of you shooting for the stars, trying to get 7s and 8s, you know, God bless you. It's pretty hard to do on these coins. This 1953, all right, so this guy, I think maybe my first disappointment in the group, really, and it's not because of the overall grade. I I think the reverse of the coin was just a little too flashy and not Cameo enough, because I was hoping to get just a low-grade cam on this. I got a proof 66. I was hoping to get a small cam on it because I had just a little bit of the reflectivity, a little bit of the contrast to the coin. Not enough contrast, I think, on the reverse of the coin to get you to that Cameo look. The obverse has a little bit of Cameo. There's a chance that NGC would have put a star in this coin when you get a Cameo to one side but not the other. Proof 66. This coin also probably a $50 to $60 type coin. And just run out of room here on my counter. Got a couple last coins to look at. One more quarter and then one half. The other half must have not really been to my liking because I only sent in one of the halves. This quarter, similar to those dimes, has a little bit of a hazy toning to it, and I chose to keep it natural instead of getting it conserved or dipping it. So once again, Monday morning quarterbacking, you can say, well, maybe that was a big mistake. Coin, once again, though, overall, you just see how clean the surface is. It does not have those little scrapes that you see on a lot of proof coins, and they called this one also a proof 66. So all in all, getting a bunch of 6s and 7s out of this set was pretty good, because I've sent in proof coins that I thought looked pretty nice, and they were coming back 5s, and 5s just won't cut it. Last but not least, you get the coin that's the largest in the series, the Franklin half, and you get a coin that has the most surface area, the easiest to get marks on, and as we've talked about before on this channel, if you've watched, you know that they don't take it lightly, these proof coins. You know, you start getting just a little bit of surface lines or marks, and you start dropping 1 or 2 points. So you can have coins that are really quite stunning overall, but they maybe have just a couple little lines on them, and all of a sudden, you know, it'll drop a couple points. Once again, you see I chose to not conserve these coins. The silver coin here, it has a little bit of that light haze to it, followed up with a little bit of mottled toning around the edges. Really lovely looking coin. Proof 67, which by the way is a pretty nice grade for the coin. Yeah, this coin's I think about $250 or so. And overall, a really nice group of coins. I sent all these in PCGS via by way of their economy service, and it did take a couple months to get them back. There's still a couple months on everything right now. So anyways, guys, there's a whole bunch of things. Thanks so much for your support. Please like the videos as you go through them. Leave a comment, helps also, just helps the channel out. I'm Ben, the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.